Primary dealers. Primary dealers are also known as PDs, deal in government securities and deal in both the primary and secondary markets. Their basic responsibility is to provide markets for government securities and strengthen the government securities market. Thus, PDs are acting as a market maker of government securities. Financial institutions, an establishment that focuses on dealing with financial transactions such as investments, loans, and deposits. FIs are development financial institutions which provide long term funds for industry and agriculture. All these institutions are under off site and on site surveillance of the Central Banking Authority. FIs raise their resources through long term bonds from the financial system and borrowings from international financial institutions. Cooperative banks, initially set up to supplant indigenous sources of rural credit, particularly money lenders. Today, they mostly serve the needs of agriculture and allied activities, rural based industries, and to a lesser extent, trade and industry in urban centers. These are allowed to raise deposits and give advances from and to the public. Urban cooperative banks are controlled by state governments and RBI, while other cooperative banks are controlled by National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development (NABARD) and state governments, except for certain exemptions in paying a higher interest on deposits. The urban cooperative banks regulatory framework is similar to the other banks. Payment and settlement systems. An efficient and effective payment and settlement system is a necessary condition for smooth functioning of financial system. Maintenance of clearing houses at various centers, creation of currency holding chests in different geographical areas, and creation of the mechanism for electronic transfer of funds or other activities undertaken by the central banks. Management of government debts. Most of the central banks manage the issue and service of government debts. This involves price discovery, volumes to be raised, tenor of debt, and matching it with the overall cash management of the debt. Banks to government. Most of the central banks maintain accounts and deposits of governments and carry out their cash management through the issue of bonds and treasury bills. Lender of last resort to banks. The central bank provides liquidity support on a temporary basis through the facility of repurchase, that means repo, of securities to banks to meet their short term liquidity requirements.